Hey Soul Family, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. In any event, I am so glad that you're here. And I have to say again, I am so excited about the growth that the channel has experienced over the past few days. So thank you, 100 times thank you for that. I had several videos that I wanted to get out today and speak to everyone. Happy Saturday if you're seeing this as I'm uploading it. So, but there's one, like I said, this one is actually the least favorite one that I'm doing today because I want to address something that I didn't really want to address. I knew I would have to address it at some point, but because of the recent growth to the channel, it's coming sooner than I had anticipated. Um, I woke up this morning and there were several comments on several of the videos that I've recently uploaded from an individual that I'm sure they didn't mean any harm, but quite honestly, from the way the comments read, it looks like this person is undergoing a bit of spiritual psychosis. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a professional. I'm not even sure that's a real, actual official psychological diagnosis, but I know it is a real thing. Spiritual or religious psychosis does happen to people. Um, it expresses itself in delusions of grandeur and really broad sweeping, like, anyway, the only way I can describe it, the the messages, and again, it was on several different videos that I've recently uploaded, but they just went on and on, very lengthy comments. I am Inky, and this person is Ra, and this person is Enlil, and I am Shiva, and I am this, and I am that, and just going on and on. And honestly, that in and of itself, while it's a bit delusional, and I say that with my whole chest because everything that we can examine, if we understand the information that we're going through on the channel right now, it indicates that those people are still very much alive. So, how anybody is going to sit here and say that they are the embodiments of Inky or Ra or Enlil for that matter, any of the Anunnaki that we haven't read in the text met an early end with the lifespans that they have, they're very much still alive. So for a human being to come up and say, I am this or that, if you are that, then why don't you get us out of this mess that we're on instead of over here blowing hard on these comments? Sorry, if you're that person that made those comments, brother or sister, get some help. I understand that the spiritual awakening is difficult for us, but there is a fine line between awakening and allowing it to slip into psychosis. And when we get to that point, all of those lofty, grandiose, running all the way down the line and the lineages of who you are, you may have been all of them people in past lives, whatever. I really But that ain't even why I chose to comment. The reason I chose to comment, because in addition to all of the self-aggrandizing statements, they also made some very specific, politically targeted, very disdainful comments about some political leaders, specifically naming them. That is what we're not going to do on this channel. We're just not. Number one, I don't need the algorithm or the censors or nothing else coming after me. This channel is not geared for that. There are some channels on YouTube that very specifically go after either or. There's some that promote democracy, the Democratic Party. There's some that are supporting the Republican Party. There's some that do whatever they're doing. That's their business. That's not the road I want to travel down, because it's a very slippery slope, especially considering the nature of what we're discussing here. You have heard me speak in general about religious systems and political systems in general, but what we're not going to do is attack any specific leaders on this channel. I have political opinions and leanings as well, but I'm not going to express them. And therefore, the people that come into the comments are not going to start doing that either, because we don't want to go get distracted that way. And I certainly don't want to offend or run off anybody that's genuinely seeking to learn spiritually. We don't need to go down political rabbit holes. Like I said, it's 1,000 channels out there on YouTube if that's what you want to go do, and you're more than welcome to find them if that's what you're determined to do. But please be mindful in the comments. I do read them. I will do my very level best to respond to all of them. But if you come into the comment section being hurtful or hateful like that, your comment will be removed. And if you continue to do it, you'll be shadow blocked, because it is possible for a channel administrator to put you on a silent mute so that you'll basically just be commenting to yourself. Nobody will ever see those comments but you. So I want people to feel free to express themselves freely within reason, just like I express myself freely within reason on this channel. I'm really not trying to get shut down before I can get going good, because there's a lot of people out here that are interested in this information and need it. And I'd like for this channel to be able to stick around long enough to help people. We're not going to start ripping into current political leaders, and especially if we're going to start calling them, assigning them negative, evil. First of all, I don't know how in the world anybody supposedly so spiritually advanced that they could name a human individual and claim what entity you think they embody on this planet. That, like I said, that leans very close to what would appear to be spiritual psychosis, because we don't need to go there. Okay? So, again, I don't remember that person's name. I didn't jot it down. I just removed the comments because I didn't want to have it mislead or deter anyone else from the channel. But if that was you that left it, again, no hard feelings either. But please, let's just be a little more mindful when we leave comments. I do welcome comments. I love it, because I want us to be able to have a discourse back and forth. In fact, I've got another comment that I'm going to address later. I just didn't want to do it in this video because it was kind of sort of a halfway negative comment, but it may raise a very valid point that I want to address. So, and I mean, and again, not in any kind of a negative way, but I just wanted to speak on it in a way. The person that I made the comment that I responded to directly, of course, will see my thoughts, but everybody doesn't read all comments on everything on this channel. So I just wanted to bring it to the family so we could all have that viewpoint. But in any event, I've gone on long enough about that. I'm not trying to beat anybody down or anything like that. Every content creator on YouTube I've seen, I've has plenty of them. I couldn't ever understand why they were discussing negativity or trolls and things like that because they will. Scammers will eventually show up. Trolls will eventually show up. Really negative people will eventually show up. And honestly, I can't even say why do they do that. There are some people, unfortunately, with where they are in their walk in life, they are that negative and that miserable. Are we going to be mad at them? No. We're here to help them. Hopefully, they'll eventually grow out of that, because that's all it is. It's a lack of maturity and a lack of healing that they need to grow out of. Because truthfully, if the divine creator chooses to allow this to continue on this planet, who are we? Now, I get it. There are certain things that people do to each other that we do need to speak out on that ain't cool, and they shouldn't be allowed to do all of that. I'm not saying that all of that, everybody can be a free will to do whatever. No, when it infringes on other people, we absolutely should not exercise those kinds of freedoms. But other than that, I welcome free discourse here, because we have to learn to think outside of the box. But let's not think so far outside of the box that it literally sets the sensors down on our heads or makes us look and sound completely insane, shall we? Because We got enough. The information we're discussing is far enough off the path. We really don't have to add a whole lot to that. Let's stay where we are right now before we get too far out there. But anyway, that was my thought for the day. I'm going to get on to the rest of them. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday. I'm going to let you know in another video coming out what we got coming up next, and we will get to finishing the Lost Book of Inky today. I love you, family. Peace and blessings to you. And until next time, namaste.